In a world filled with ancient wisdom and profound reflections, we invite you to embark on a journey to explore the timeless philosophy of great thinkers through these inspiring quotes. By three methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. The person attempting to travel two roads at once will get nowhere. Knowing others is intelligence. Knowing yourself is true wisdom. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Friends are the siblings God never gave us. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. The great man is he who does not lose his childlike heart. Real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. The people may be made to follow a path of action, but they may not be made to understand it. All warfare is based on deception. The sage does not accumulate for himself. The more he uses for others, the more he possesses himself. In war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. A heart untroubled by doubt is like a child's. To see what is right and not do it is the want of courage. To attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day. When we see men of a contrary character, we should turn inwards and examine ourselves. The wise man is one who knows what he does not know. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. Ignorance is the night of the mind, but a night without moon and star. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. The more you know, the less you understand. In dwelling, live close to the ground. In thinking, keep to the simple. In conflict, be fair and generous. In governing, don't try to control. In work, do what you enjoy. In family life, be completely present. When it is obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. The nature of man is evil. His goodness is acquired. Isn't it a pleasure to study and practice what you have learned? It is not possible for one to teach others who cannot teach his own family. Education breeds confidence. Confidence breeds hope. Hope breeds peace. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. A ruler's first concern should be the welfare of his people. The gentleman places importance on his work and not on the reward. The small man places importance on the reward and not on his work. We should feel sorrow, but not sink under its oppression. Recompense injury with justice, and recompense kindness with kindness. Without feelings of respect, what is there to distinguish men from beasts? There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. Evil and good cannot be lived together. To love a thing means wanting it to live. To go beyond is as wrong as to fall short. When you have faults, do not fear to abandon them. The cautious seldom err. Men's natures are alike. It is their habits that carry them far apart. A person is born with feelings of envy and hate. If he gives way to them, they will lead him to violence and crime, and any sense of loyalty and good faith will be abandoned. The wise man thinks of his defects. The fool thinks of others' defects. The superior man acts before he speaks. and afterwards speaks according to his action. It is only the wisest and the stupidest that cannot change. The object of the superior man is truth. The essence of knowledge is having it, to apply it, not having it, to confess your ignorance. The more laws and order are made prominent, the more thieves and robbers there will be. A man who does not plan long ahead will find trouble right at this door. Humility is the solid foundation of all virtues. To be wronged is nothing unless you continue to remember it. The great man knows his fault. The small man covers his fault. The superior man is one who is free from anxieties and fear. The real fault is to have faults and not amend them. A fool despises good counsel, but a wise man takes it to heart. The scholar who cherishes the love of comfort is not fit to be deemed a scholar. He who will not economize will have to agonize. Do not be desirous of having things done quickly. Do not look at small advantages. Desire to have things done quickly prevents their being done thoroughly. Great acts are made up of small deeds. I am not concerned that I am not known. I seek to be worthy to be known. It is better to light one small candle than curse the darkness. Respect yourself and others will respect you. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Everything has beauty, but not everyone sees it. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. Nothing is softer or more flexible than water, yet nothing can resist it. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. When prosperity comes, do not use all of it. Wealth and rank are what people desire, but unless they are obtained in the right way, they may not be possessed. The more man meditates upon good thoughts, the better will be his world and the world at large. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it. This is knowledge. We take greater pains to persuade others that we are happy than in endeavoring to think so ourselves. The wheel of fortune turns round incessantly, and who can say to himself, I shall today be uppermost? The father who does not teach his son his duties is equally guilty with the son who neglects them. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. When I walk along with 2 others, from at least one, I will be able to learn. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. If you look into your own heart, you find nothing wrong there. What is there to fear? Think no vice so small that you may commit it, and no virtue so small that you may overlook it. Do not worry about holding a high position. Worry rather about playing your proper role. Anticipate the difficult by managing the easy. You cannot open a book without learning something. The superior man thinks always of virtue. The common man thinks of comfort. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. Acquire new knowledge whilst thinking over the old, and you may become a teacher of others. Act with kindness, but do not expect gratitude. If you would take, you must first give. Virtue is not left to stand alone. He who practices it will have neighbors. Worry not that no one knows of you. Seek to be worth knowing. Ability will never catch up with demand for it. To see and listen to the wicked is already the beginning of wickedness. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Boldness, without the rules of propriety, becomes insubordination. Governing a great nation is like cooking a small fish. too much handling will spoil it. What the superior man seeks is in himself. What the small man seeks is in others. Learn as though you would never be able to master it. Hold it as though you would be in fear of losing it. The faults of a superior person are like the sun and moon. They have their faults, and everyone sees them. They change, and everyone looks up to them. When a man's knowledge is sufficient to attain, and his virtue is not sufficient to enable him to hold whatever he may have gained, he will lose again. The opportunity to secure ourselves against defeat lies in our own hands, but the opportunity of defeating the enemy is provided by the enemy himself. The more you don't have sex, the less you want it. Silence is a source of great strength. A long absence of sex turns a person into a neurotic. Forget injuries, but never forget kindness.